This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 631.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster.
We have the technology. The technology.
Hello, everybody. This is Adam Philby, host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Sorry, but my voice might be a little raspy this week. I'm just getting over shingles and now a bit of a cough / sore throat. Kind of weird, but just want to be transparent. All right, moving on. Upcoming events. First thing here is there's one next week. WordPress Campus Connect in Bogura, April 4th. That's in Bangladesh. If you're in that part of the world, you should go. Yeah, that's it for the events coming up. Just kind of a light week next week. Moving on to segment 1 in the news. Two things to talk about here. First and foremost, WordPress 7.0 RC2, that's release candidate 2, is out in the wild for testing. Still on track for releasing on April the 9th, which is like just around the corner from when this episode drops. Like literally 14 days about? Yeah, 14 days out, I think. So there's that. And lastly in the news, I saw something online. I don't know where I saw this. I saw maybe it was Twitter, X. I don't remember. I couldn't find where this was mentioned, like any more information. But apparently, market share has dipped below 43% for WordPress as AI reshapes site building. So that's something to think about. We're at 43, 44%. It's dipped below now. What's that mean? I don't know. I just want to share with you that stat that I saw. I jotted it down. I couldn't find where I saw it though. I'm like, where was that? It was somewhere. But nonetheless, there's a factoid for you. So that is in the news. Moving on to segment 2. But before that, a word from this week's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Host Papa. And honestly, this one hits close to home for me. Now, if you've been around WordPress for a while, you've probably had that moment. A slow website, bad support that takes forever to load, or you're nervous about moving hosts because downtime is scary. I've been there, my clients have been there, and it's not fun. That's where Host Papa comes in. They've built something special, targeting performance. How, you ask? Well, by using ultra-fast NVMe storage. Translation, the WordPress site loads quicker, visitors stick around longer, and everything just feels better. And we all know speed matters, not just for users, but for conversions, SEO, and overall experience. But here's the part I really like. They'll migrate your site for free. Yes, free. No downtime headaches, no late night stress. Their migration team handles the move and gets you up on their servers with free SSL, free domain transfer, and 99.9% uptime guarantee. And if you're worried about support, don't be. Their Papa Squad is available 24/7. Chat, email, phone, real people, real help when you need it. Plus, they offer 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. I mean, come on, that's great. If your hosting has been bugging you and you're launching something new, or you just want faster WordPress, go check them out. So head over to Host Papa, give them a try. It's fast, reliable, it's great, and their support is fantastic, honestly. It's just one less thing you got to think about. Thanks again, Host Papa, for supporting the show. All right, and we're back. Thanks again, Host Papa, for sponsoring this week's episode. Segment 2, meat and potatoes. It's been 8 weeks. It's time for listener Q&A. This week we have, I think it's 6 questions. These are good. All sent in by different people. First one is sent in by Steven. Question is, I keep hearing about WordPress block editor. Should I finally make the switch from the classic editor, or is it okay to stick with what I know? Great question. Honestly, one of my favorite questions, because I hear this all the time, and I think about this all the time. It comes down to, it depends on what you're doing. The block editor, Gutenberg, as we kind of know it as well, or knew it beforehand, has come a really long way. And it's where WordPress is heading. So if you're building new pages or starting with a new site, it's worth learning. And it's kind of weird for me to say that, but it's growing on me. That said, classic editor still works fine. It's not going anywhere just yet. So my advice, Steven, is try the block editor on a page that's low stakes. See how it feels. Most people are surprised how much they like it once they get past that learning curve. And I am guilty of this learning curve. It frustrated me to no end for so long. And it still does to some extent, but it is growing on me. I have started using it more. I've used Ollie for a few things recently. It's interesting to know it. So yeah, start using it because, it's good to know the latest tech moving forward. All right. Question 2, this one comes in from Juno. My website feels slow. What's the first thing I should check? Ooh, good one. 9 times out of 10, it comes down to images, in my experience. People upload giant photos straight from their phone or camera or just really large images and wonder why things feel sluggish. So before anything else, I always say run your site through a free tool like Google PageSpeed Insights, and then look at your images, fix them, compress them, make sure they're not wider than they need to be. If you're not already using a caching plugin like WP Rocket or W3 Total Cache, that's your next stop. But the images, I always find, really slow down the site a lot. Small fix makes for a big difference and a big win. All right, question 3 sent in by Max. Do I really need a child theme or is that old advice? Ooh, that is a nuanced question these days. Because, I mean, it used to be, as Max indicated, that child themes were the best practice. Keep in mind, as I answer this, I still use them. I do, actually. Beaver Builder theme, Ollie child theme recently. They were essential because that way your customizations would not get wiped out by a theme update. But these days, if you're using a block theme and doing your customizing through the site editor, you actually don't need one. Your changes are stored in the database, not the theme files. However, if you're editing PHP files or adding custom CSS the old school way, then a child theme really is still your best friend. So as long as you know how you're modifying and making changes to the site, that's the choice you need to make. So is it old advice? Yeah, but it depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. So keep that in mind and then make the appropriate choice according to that. All right. Question 4. I'm getting spam contact form submissions every single day. What can I do? This was sent in by Carl. The bot spam struggle is real, Carl. I feel you. The quickest fix, honestly, that I found is don't use forms. No, I'm kidding. Honeypot. Use a honeypot field. Most form plugins like Gravity Forms, WP Forms, they have this built in. So turn it on. Google reCAPTCHA is another option. And if you're getting hammered even after that, you can look at a service like Cloudflare. They have a free plan. It sits in front of your site, blocks a lot of junk before it gets to you. So a combination of those tools out there will really help. And also I recommend for spam emails, if it's coming just email, people put their email address or info at on the footer or something like that. If you add a space between like info space, at space, and then the domain, and don't make it a hot linked item, you won't be scraped nearly as bad. That's kind of a little workaround. The email's there, takes a little bit more effort for someone to contact you, but at least you know they want to. So there's that idea. That's what I've been doing. All right, question 5, sent in by Laura, Lora, that's cool. What's one mistake businesses make when budgeting for a new website? Ooh, good question. The only budget, my answer really, it's weird. I think they only budget for the launch, meaning they pay you to get the website built and launch it. But honestly, that is not the whole project. The real work, in my opinion, starts after launch. Content updates, SEO, performance, analytics, experimentation, A/B split testing. The website is not a one-time project. I mean, it can be in a small time, in small situations, like a landing page, the business card. But if it's e-commerce, learning management, membership, it's ongoing. And companies that treat it that way will see far better ROI. So I think even a small monthly investment beats rebuilding every 3 years. I really do. So I don't think they budget enough for the ongoing support that is necessary to grow a business and a company beyond that. So there's that. That's my take on that, Laura. I love the way you spell your name, Lora. Kind of cool. All right. Last question of the day, question 6 by Eric. Should small businesses still care about plugins or just use a SaaS tool? Ooh, that's a hot button topic, I think, these days, especially with all the vibe coding stuff. Answer, plugins still matter, in my opinion, especially for ownership and cost control. SaaS tools are great. Monthly subscriptions can add up fast, something to think about. With the WordPress plugin and the ecosystem around it, you often get similar functionality without being locked in. So the smart approach, and one way to look at it is it's hybrid, right? Use a SaaS where it really adds value and use plugins when you want the flexibility and control. And I mean, I still use plugins. I still pay for my annual fees for a handful of them. Gravity Forms being one of them. What's another one? Facet WP. Certain ones I pay without question. It just renews. I don't care. So yeah, and I use SaaS for other things as well. You know, so it just makes more sense for me to use for like support tickets, stuff like that. So it's a choice, but it's a good question. All right. Thanks for those questions, people. Appreciate those a lot. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This one is a website. I guess it's a tool of the week. Yeah, it's a service. It's over at, so apparently, if you have a day job, you have stuff at work, you have situations at work, and sometimes they're not the best situations. So there's a website out there now that you can kind of go and share and rant and vent without any tracing or tracking of IPs and stuff. It's over at work. It's kind of funny. Do I bleep this out? I don't think so. It's worksituation.com. Just like it sounds, work situation. So it's kind of it's mixing the two words in there. Check it out. Looks fun. And some resources there as well. Check that out. It's kind of a fun little thing. If you have situations at work that are not ideal and they're a bit poopy, and you spell poop with S-H-I-T. All right. Link in the show notes if you want to check that out. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email like people did for this one in 8 weeks. We'll do this again. Adam at KitchensinkWP.com, or use that speak pipe function on the website. If you want to sponsor the show like Host Papa did, thanks again to Host Papa for sponsoring this week's episode. You can do that. There's a form to fill out like they did. You can also buy me a coffee. You can become a Patreon. A couple different ways to support the show. I would appreciate it any which way you want to do it. Thanks for listening. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.